Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards and you're watching GoTarryn TV. And in this episode we discuss DDP Yoga, my wrestling career, my fitness journey, and of course the most important thing, my love of cats.
Hey everybody, happy Sunday, December the 13th. Welcome to today's GoTarryn TV show. It's Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, and side by side we're welcoming for the very first time to GoTarryn TV, Stevie Richards. And Stevie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on to the show here. It's a pleasure and honor to have you on. And first of all, if you could please tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how did you end up with DDP Yoga?
Oh, wow. I mean, we only got 30 minutes. It's a long story. I don't know if you want the Stevie Richards story or the Michael Manna story or try to meld them together a little bit. But, you know, I've been a professional wrestler for over 25 years, full-time for probably about 18 of those. And, you know, always loved three things. I always loved fitness, technology, and wrestling, not in any specific order. I love them all equally. Mm-hmm. And fast forwarding to DDP Yoga, obviously just like any other guy who had injured himself so much, didn't have any other choice but to do yoga, just like Dallas says all the time. He wouldn't be caught dead doing yoga. So it's something for me that was a necessity if I wanted to still, with the fitness part of it and the wrestling, if I wanted to continue both of those and keep having quality in both of those with performance and also aesthetically looking better as I grow older into my 40s at that time. And naturally, I embrace everything and try to do it all at the best that I can. So it just kind of naturally took me to the point where Dallas wanted me to come, and I'd already been certified. So I was the first certified DDP Yoga instructor. So he wanted me to come to Smyrna, Georgia, and help with the opening of the Performance Center here on Concord Road, not too far from where you and I live right now. And the rest is kind of history. It's been a great ride. I've been able to mix up, you know, DDP Yoga, working there at the Performance Center, still wrestling on the weekends, and of course with T4 Show still get my tech fix and be able to do stuff like we're doing today, kind of like do a weekly show or do review videos and stuff like that. So everything I love is kind of all wrapped into my life right now, so it's awesome. And I love cats, so I have two of those too. If you've done your research, you know that part.
Yeah, certainly. I was going to ask you about that. Is it Mia and Odin, I believe?
Mia and Odin, and they know how to open the doors, so you might be able to see them before this show's over.
Oh, that would be terrific. Well, I'm a cat person myself. I've got two myself, and I think that's great. Speaks volumes of what kind of person you are. So anybody who's a cat person, your friend. Nice. So I'm assuming, let's go back to your wrestling career for a second. I'm assuming this, but I would think that you probably met DDP back, I guess, when you were in WCW about 1997, if that's correct.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was a regular opponent of his on WCW Saturday Night, and then we had a match on Nitro.
Right.
Did I know him? No. I mean, at the time, you know, people like that, bigger than life personalities, and I've dealt with a million of them throughout my career, and I don't necessarily have that type A personality, but Dallas and a lot of guys in wrestling, sports, and entertainment have those types of personalities, and they can be very off-putting sometimes. So back then, I you know, he was okay, but I didn't really go out of my way to be friendly to him because, you know, just because he's really over the top and in your face and stuff, and anybody who's ever been around him is that way. But when you get to know him, he's the same guy I met in '97 as now, as far as being very passionate, being very, some would say aggressive, but he's really trying to change people's lives. And sometimes with certain people who aren't ready to take that step, it can be something that they're not ready for, and it can be pretty intimidating.
Mm-hmm, sure. And we'll talk about, I wanted to ask you about DDP Yoga and the Performance Center with the grand opening here in a second. And let's still stay on that time frame. When around that time, I think, is when you had the neck issues. And from my research, I recall back in ECW, I think it was a match with either, is it Terry Funk or the Sandman possibly? And I think a ladder hit you in the neck. Is that one of the first injuries that had happened with the neck? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
my neck was already, I had a few stingers from Sandman, because when you have a guy who's had 20 to 25 beers in his system, he goes out and wrestles, he doesn't necessarily measure you up to hit you in a safe place with the Singapore cane. In this instance, it was me, Raven, Terry Funk, and Sandman in a four-way.
Okay.
A four-way matchup in Buffalo, New York at the Eckinger Center, I think it's called.
Okay.
And Terry wanted to drop a guardrail across my back for the finish.
Guardrail.
After
Wow.
I pinned Sandman, but then the big round part of the older barricade, you ever see those? It has the round, it's thick. The barricade weighed probably about a good 75 or 100 pounds. And guardrail, to be more specific, they don't look like the black ones that are around the WWE with the foam on top. They were
Sure.
They were metal guardrails, and it dropped right on the base of my neck and caused what's called transient quadriplegia, where I couldn't feel anything for probably approximately an hour, which was pretty terrifying. But that kind of stuff and the neck surgery that I had, after that on December 22nd, 1997, and then all the other stuff, as far as injury-wise that occurred, still didn't teach me to really take care of myself until I went up to 262 pounds.
Wow.
When I was with Right to Censor. When I got lazy, made excuses, was not accountable at all for my health, fitness, or anything else in my life. And just one day, somebody came across, and it was Ivory actually, who came up to me and said, "Man, you're fat." And it just got to me. And from that point on, I became completely obsessed with health, fitness, training, bettering myself, learning. I don't care if it's one little thing, whether it's tech, fitness, whatever it is in my daily life, I try to learn and get better at something. So I never really rest on my laurels, because I'm so afraid of going back to that point where once you start making one excuse, Tarryn, you can make 5. 1 pound becomes 5, becomes 10, 20, 40, 60, 80. It happens to everybody. So I'm very obsessed with keeping myself focused and on track. And now with the responsibility of helping change other people's lives, if they look at me and I'm trying to preach health and fitness to them, much like with you being a trainer, if you don't look the part, or you can't speak with knowledge on the part, you don't have any credibility.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. You're right. Very well said. And I'll say this, and again, just because I've followed wrestling all my life, and it's so ironic. Like, you are like one of the rare exceptions. Most wrestlers, and including DDP also, but most wrestlers that you follow, you see the opposite, where they kind of get fatter and older, much quicker. But with yourself, and again, and DDP, I'm saying, like, you're definitely the exception. It looks like if you were to compare side by side, yourself today versus, say, 15, 20 years ago, you almost look like you're younger now and in much better shape, obviously, now than back then. So I think that's interesting that you don't find that much with a lot of the wrestlers.
Well, thank you. And there's no real secret to it. Obviously, the choices that I made, and actually some of the choices that I made, which were good choices in the long run, hurt my career, because obviously peer pressure in wrestling is akin to grade school and high school. If you don't go out and drink with the boys and go to the bar and stay up all night.
Yeah.
But I stayed on point with going to bed early. It's really just basically, training hard, getting enough rest, and eating right. There's no real, these people that throw in all these scientific things and try to complicate things for people, much like we talked about before recording with technology. I have a setup here that's very simple.
Yeah.
But, it's what works for me with my tech stuff and everything, and that's what I do with my training, too. When I train my clients, you don't want to bombard them with all these things that you and I may know. You just want them to train hard, have intensity, have fun, and really make some gains every day. And that's the same thing with wrestling. All I really wanted to do, because I knew for a fact that with wrestling, no matter how much I hung out with these guys or did anything like that, eventually we're all going to get fired. Eventually everybody gets released from WWE and everybody leaves. So,
right.
And I couldn't control that. I can't control a lot of things in my life. So, and you probably have this thing too with training. This is just my mantra. And I tell people, dieting and exercise are actually pretty easy, because you can't control anything else in your life. And I realized this when I got really fat, and I realized, I got this way because I chose to do it, because it was the two things that I can control. I trained like crap and I ate like crap. So now I know that I can control my training. Nobody can tell me how long I can work out, how many times a day I can work out, and how hard I can work out. And also, nobody can tell me what to eat and what not to eat. So it's kind of freeing because the whole other day, every day is so out of control, and you're always at the, the mercy of others and just, chaos sometimes that, that's what keeps me in shape. So the secret is actually I'm a control freak. I like to control everything. And just those three things, training, eating, and resting, are really important. And it's, no drugs, no steroids, no growth hormone, none of that stuff. Now, you notice how I say growth hormone too. Because you ask some guys, hey, you ever use steroids? They say no, but nobody follows up with the growth hormone question. I've never done that either because I've just heard too many different things about that. And being a 44-year-old man, Tarryn, it's scary because my testosterone levels are dropping, but I have to do anything naturally I can to keep them up. So I guess if I did all that stuff, I'd look even better.
I was going to say, you don't look 44, you look about 24. I'm serious.
You.
Yeah, I mean, you have the secret of longevity and youth. So whatever you're doing, definitely the natural way. Keep it up.
It's still still wrestling matches. I'm still testing fate because that's very physical. And, that part of the equation, wrestling a couple of weekends a month, it takes its toll. I mean, it's getting to a point where I could still wrestle as much as I want, but then I think to myself, how much longer do I wrestle where it's counterproductive to my health and fitness? Because that's my number one thing. I want to be like Dallas is 60. I want to be like Dallas where, he's still really strong, really feels good. He's the same, he's not an old man. 60 years old for him is not the 60 years old that I grew up with at least.
Right, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And how was it? I was going to ask you about the grand opening itself. How was the grand opening of the DDP Performance Center?
It was good. I hated staying up that late. It was way past my bedtime. But it was great. We had a soft open July 6th.
Yeah.
And we have a great member base of regulars. It really resembles a neighborhood gym. A lot of people just are from Smyrna or around Smyrna. Some people come in, obviously, who it's a destination workout for them or a destination tourism thing.
Yeah.
But it's really a neighborhood fitness place. And we have a lot of people that are transforming, a lot of people just with simple choices. There's people that have never worked out. I actually have a personal training client that had never worked out before ever in his life and was so not into it when he first got there. But after 2 or 3 weeks, when he started dropping weight, dropping, pant sizes, stuff like that, he took some personal training sessions with me, and now he wants to join a gym. So that's pretty amazing. In a 6 to 7 month span, someone who never worked out, now they want to pay their hard-earned money to go to the gym and work out because they enjoy it now.
No, that's wonderful. What a testament. And
that's not us. That's not us. That's all them doing the work. Just so you know, we just give them the tools and the choices, and they're the ones that do everything.
Oh, that's tremendous. In DDP Yoga, I know that there's it looks like 4 components. If you could talk about the yoga, traditional fitness, sports therapy, and dynamic resistance, what is involved with, like, say somebody's interested in taking a DDP Yoga class for the first time, what can they expect?
Well, expect it to be free because the first one's always free, so that's a good thing to know. We don't want to get anybody paying money until they know it's for them, and maybe it's not for everybody, but I think it is, Tarryn, just because you mentioned all those things, and I think it falls under sports therapy probably, but I think the number one thing that makes DDP Yoga different than any other working out or even traditional yoga is modifications. So modifications mean that basically you can take those standard yoga positions or the exercises that we're doing with dynamic resistance, which resemble weightlifting, or the combination of the breathing, dynamic resistance, and even with the modifications, put you in your efficient fat burning zone. Because we're unlike most yoga studios, we put a heart rate monitor on you, and we don't want you to hit the orange zone like Orange Theory. We want you in the green. So it's a very safe, effective workout because of the modifications, because there's times I've been hurt even after being an instructor where I modified and could still succeed with the workout and burn 600, 700, 800 calories in a 50-minute span. So that's the thing that people are most amazed by, that you can have me on one end, you on the other, and in the middle we could have like a 500-600 pound guy or girl, and everybody's doing the same workout. They're just doing it different ways.
No,
I think that's the key that makes it the most inclusive, unintimidating workout out there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. How many people roughly on average come to the classes about right now?
Anywhere from right now we're averaging like 15 to 20.
That's a pretty,
which is great.
Yeah,
and we can hold 40. 40 is a little tight, but we cap it off at 40 because we want everybody to get a good experience. And it sounds so, you know, I tell people because they say we're afraid of the big classes and everything, but because it's like a neighborhood gym, I know now after months everybody's injury, what everybody's working around, what everybody, because as a trainer you need to have that in your mind when you see people, because you're basically, I consider myself not to be a group fitness instructor, but a personal trainer for 15 to 20 people in every class. Because I have to watch them, make sure they're safe, and also give them the encouragement to say that they're making progress throughout the workout. I can't let them hang for 50 minutes and then say they did a good job. You have to give the instant feedback. So, you know, it's great. If we get up to 35 and 40, we might need 2 instructors in there just so somebody's walking around and making sure everybody's safe too. But that's a great problem to have every day.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. And I know that the people will get the information at the end of the video. They can go to the website, ddpyoga.com, and find out the class schedule. But what are the times that you teach and during the week? What's your schedule?
Christina and I alternate mornings and nights.
Okay.
And then we have an app workout. Like we have a live workout tomorrow. So if you end up editing it, it'll be after the live workout. But if you go to the DDP Yoga app, it'll tell you a countdown of when the next live workout is. So it's pretty cool. App workouts, actually, I think the app is the most cost-effective way to get workouts at the Performance Center and from the DVDs. So you subscribe, you can pay 1 month, 3 month, or you can pay, the most cost-effective way is to pay the year in advance. And you get all those workouts and the ever-growing library, and you get to track all your stats and everything. So people have used DigiFit iCardio, which was my favorite before this app. This is much better than that because it offers nutrition, offers the workout videos, offers real-time feedback, and also it's just like all in one. It replaced like 3 or 4 of my fitness apps on my iPhone. So anytime I can converge, I'm down from 200 to 197 apps on my phone now. So it's really good.
Oh, that's great. Did you have some input on the app when it came out yourself?
Yeah, I was on the app development team. I was an app tester, and also now I do the tech support with Robert, Sherry, Jamie. We have app calls at least 3 to 4 times a week at 7 a.m., so thank God I work out at 5.
Oh, my God.
So everybody in the company does a little bit something, like there's no job descriptions are very broad, and they cross over to other areas a lot. I'll help out with production. I help out Christina with operations management, also personal training. Sometimes I teach yoga, so it all mixes together. Yeah, the company is very small, actually, believe it or not. It's a small group of people that work an extremely long amount of hours, and it's fulfilling because even no matter what with the company, no matter how many hours or whatever, it really is the people that we're helping that make the difference. So, you know, I kind of like sometimes the chaos and everything. I'm not a chaos person. I've had enough of that in wrestling. But, you know, it can be a chaotic environment. But as long as I keep myself focused on the people I'm helping, and I'm really could be saving someone's life, and that's a big responsibility. So my energy is really just always concentrated on that. So when somebody walks in, for example, you walk in, you could be somebody, Tarryn, that essentially had tried every fitness workout, every diet, everything you could, and you saw the Arthur video, and you walk into the building, and you're basically 1.5 steps away from, I mean, who knows? I've heard these stories before. You're 1 or 2 steps away from committing suicide because you've given up all hope. But you watch the video, and you say, I'm going in here because I believe these people can help me. Every time I hear the chime go off and that door open, that's what I'm aware of. Because what if this person walked in and I literally said to him, hey, give me a second, hold on a second. It gives them that little bit of opportunity to turn around, walk out the door, and give up on their life.
Yeah, that's all. I don't
take that lightly because I don't want to be responsible for somebody. I'm their last step, and I didn't give them the attention that they deserved, and they ended up giving up. I couldn't live with that.
Yeah, certainly. What do you find most rewarding about being on the DDP Yoga team?
the members and the people we have in the community. I mean, the people that are getting helped and transforming, you know, they think that we motivate them. They think we inspire them, but they motivate me every day. Like I said, if I'm not physically, mentally, intellectually, and emotionally prepared to help people, you know, and don't have all my stuff together, then I'm not doing them a good service. So they inspire me. They give us energy when we're tired and we go into that class, and they're really happy and they're having a good time. It feeds off. It's a lot like wrestling to me. When the audience is very energetic and they're very into what you're doing, then, you know, it gives you energy and you can do it forever.
Let me ask you this. Let's go back about 15, 20 years ago when you were full-time in WWE, WCW, ECW.
Sure.
Would you ever see yourself doing this where you're at right now, if you had a time machine going back, looking in the future, and doing everything that you're doing now?
No, my goal, and you know, I still have goals. I still have things I want to do. Will DDP Yoga be the last stop for me? I don't know. I have a lot of stuff. Since I love technology, I wanted to be the next Steve Jobs. I wanted to have a company that, you know, in a lot of ways with the app, I feel like I represent that because of, you know, understanding the user interface and the way that the general user, not me and you who understand technology, but the general user looks at an app and looking it through their eyes. That's something that I still want to do. I want that. I want to leave, you know, and I may leave behind a legacy with DDP Yoga, but I'm always looking to see what could be my future. You know, I have the itch to always be going in the business for myself too, and doing something to be able to do, God forbid, do something online, like online training or something where I'm on the beach in Clearwater Beach, Florida or something, and be doing my job and helping people and making money and having a good life with a bunch of cats on the beach, you know, that kind of stuff. But I would have never guessed, because the hardest thing to do that I've ever seen is for an entertainer or a professional athlete or professional wrestler, which is all in one with us, to make that crossover to their next life from wrestling. And it's hard because they see you're recognizable, and if you're trying to do something that's completely different from that, you almost can't escape it. You're kind of pigeonholed into that stereotype.
Yeah, that, you know, let me ask you this too, Stevie. So DD House, the Accountability Crib, you know, we've had Jake Roberts, Scott Hall. Are there any other wrestlers that you guys have reached out to, or that you could think, if you could name them, that you would be interested in having come out and get help and get rehabbed and try DDP Yoga?
Well, there's guys that come by all the time. Robert Gibson, Buff Bagwell came by, Eric Watts came by. Austin was just in there, but not doing the workout. He has the program. I don't know how much he's doing it. Dallas gives it to anybody that, especially in the business. He's very generous that way. AJ Styles just came by the other day to work out with him. His back's only a little hurt right now, but just imagine with all the stuff he does, he's lucky at that rate. But he wants to get ahead of that, and and he worked out with Dallas, and I was there, and it really he felt better afterwards. So he can see himself doing it more and more. And just for information, AJ Styles used to make fun of me for doing DDP Yoga at Universal Studios before my TNA matches. So there you go, Jay. I told you so.
Oh, no, that's great. And with the DDP Yoga, like, with your schedule, how do you just get everything done, with doing that, with the wrestling? Like for personal training clients, for example, like, are you currently taking new clients one-on-one right now? If they're one?
Yeah. My goal, selfishly and generously, is to fill up my time where I'm always in the studio or the personal training room and never have to sit behind a friggin' desk at all ever again. Online training is great. It's interesting because that combines, I use a great app called Trainerize, and I've been investigating other ones, but Trainerize seems to be the best for me because it gives real-time notifications and communication and also delivery with the client. But Trainerize, like, what I can do is, I have a bunch of fitness videos up that I did like 3 years ago, so I was pretty amazed I didn't look that much different than 3 years ago. So I can upload. It isn't just a general thing. You've seen it where you give them a tutorial, Tarryn, and it's just some guy just bench and say, and it doesn't give any instruction. You can upload your own YouTube videos and connect them and link them, so it's a much more personalized experience. I could literally, if it was just you, say, I could, hey, Tarryn, this exercise, blah, blah, blah. And I know you got a shoulder issue, so be careful. Don't use a barbell, use dumbbell.
Okay.
Like it just adds such an element to that kind of stuff. Plus Trainer Eyes, it sounds like a commercial for them. I pay them, trust me. I know every month. but if you missed a workout, I get notified and I send you a message through their messaging system, say, hey man, you missed a workout, what's up? Or I see what you tracked and I say, hey, you're getting stronger. That's cool. Next time I throw you a workout plan, we're really going to push you. I mean, it's really cool. Body stats, graphs, progress photos. Also getting that Sculpt Aim. Have you ever tried that?
No, what is that?
Because I hate using the calipers. So
okay.
Sculpt Aim is basically, it puts the thing against your body part and it measures the muscle quality and the body fat. And it's only off by like 0.5%. So
okay.
I'll take that, not to have to keep pinching everybody all around to use the caliper.
Okay.
But it's $200. So that's the kind of stuff that you can input into this software. So I think online training, as much as people might think it's the lazy way out, there's a lot more work that actually goes into it, rather than spending a half hour with somebody and saying, yeah, see you in a couple of days or see you next week. The online training is very full featured. But the personal training and the classes are tied for my love. It's the reason why I'm there. So training people in general and helping them is generally all I want to do there. And, you know, my skills are needed in other departments within the company, which I'm happy to help out. Because I've been friends with Dallas for 20 years. I'll do anything for him as far as a friendship-based thing, except murder somebody. He'll have to do that on his own. But I will. When it comes to helping people, I'll help them out any way I can. And, you know, the classes and it's not even a monetary thing either way, because it doesn't matter. You know, if I can help a group of people out, or if one person needs that individual attention, because some people, and you understand this from training, people are we're not having people coming in saying, hey, I want to lose a couple inches off my waist. I want to get ready for, you know, wearing a bikini in the summer. I mean, we're talking about, there's people, seriously, when I say 500-600 pounds, 400 pounds, there's people severely overweight. So we have to take great care in not being insensitive to that, you know, not treating them differently, but also not being too rough with them that way and trying to push them too hard, because the fact that they're there is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, arguably that's one of the hardest steps for them, is that first step through the front door. But
yeah, I mean, dude, if I walked into a CrossFit right now, like a box gym, and I started doing CrossFit, and the coach talked to me like crap, I would feel like I would feel awful and never come back to that place.
yeah,
I don't want to make them feel like I'm stupid, and because I don't know what I'm doing if I walk into a CrossFit gym. So, you know, you know, take that in mind. Don't chastise me because I don't know how to do, you know, very bad form pull-ups. Oops, did I say that?
Oh, that's a whole nother video blog we could talk about, Stevie. Yeah, they are, you know, they've had a lot of criticism with, you know, the bad form and just bringing people in as a number and hurting people more. So, and you know, again, not to.
But there are good ones. I've met a lot of people in CrossFit. I plan on interviewing a couple of people in CrossFit gyms in the area to try to dispel the stereotypes, or at least which are true and which aren't true. You know, and I'm talking about doing a video of me doing pull-ups, and I do strict form pull-ups, and when I watch those pull-ups, they're intimidating, but maybe there's something I don't know. See, that's the difference. I don't prejudge them on anything. I want to find out for myself. I don't want to look at a video. I know the range of people that have broken their spines in CrossFit and DDP Yoga are proportionately different. So I would tend to say that DDP Yoga is a much safer form of exercise for anybody, but don't get me wrong, man. There's people I know that do CrossFit and they're in incredible shape and they're not feeling the effects of anything, and they're my age. So maybe it's genetics. Maybe I have to talk to my dad. Maybe I have weak genetics.
Again, I think you look great, Stevie. You know, again, just keep up what you're doing, and I think that more people watching, especially if they live in Atlanta, they need to come check out the DDP Yoga Performance Center. So, Stevie, I've thoroughly enjoyed this interview with you. This has just been wonderful. I know we've touched on just mostly we were talking about the DDP yoga program, but I'd love to talk to you in the future again, maybe on a future video blog about your technology T4 show, and we could talk about that and pick your brain with that because I think I can learn a lot from you with improving my own podcasts here. So,
Well, I was gonna say, and I don't mean all I would be doing was passing along information that people gave to me, but I can really seriously help you with the cheapest way to improve your audio, your video, all
that would
that
be
stuff,
wonderful.
and also
Yeah.
make it as portable as possible. It would be, that's why I wanted to do it at the Performance Center because I was gonna show off all the stuff I have in my cool little Pelican case and bring it in. But it would have been fun,
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, dude. I'm talking about if you shoot videos, if you have a smartphone or an iPhone or whatever, or even just some kind of point shoot, you can do a 2 or 3 camera shoot just with smartphones and iPads. It's pretty amazing with the
Yeah.
right software. As long as you sync that audio, like the audio I have through my H6, and see, I'm starting another episode. As long as the audio is clean and you have software that can handle multicam, no one would even know the difference.
Oh, that's tremendous. Yeah, again, I've got a lot to learn with this because I'm fairly new in this. I've been doing for about a year, but again, this is great. Stevie, if anybody's watching right now and they want to check out the Performance Center and come visit, what's the best ways to look up DDP Yoga and contact you directly?
Well, the best way is to go to www. Yeah, I can never say www because I never say it at all anymore. But it's just DDP Yoga PC. That's performance, or DDP Yoga Performance Center. But it's ddpyogapc.com. The schedule is very dynamic. That's why we don't have it printed on paper. So you can go to the website. We're adding classes. We're adding different types of classes. You can email me, Stevie@ddpyoga.com. You can tweet me at BWOStevie. You can walk in the door and say hello and ask for me, and as long as there's not any kind of cat convention going on or wrestling show, I'm usually there. I'm going to CatCon next year.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm lobbying. I almost got a small part in the Kitten Ball last year, and I'm lobbying for it this year. So I might be out there during the Super Bowl at the Kitten Ball.
Oh my God, I had no idea there was such a thing like a CatCon. Where is this at?
L.A. CatCon had
God.
Grumpy Cat there, had Little Bob, had who else? I think who else was out there? I forget. There's a few more.
That is so cool. I gotta look that up.
Oh yeah, there's more than one, man. Check it out. It's on the rise.
Oh, I will. And I will definitely come in and check you guys out because I've got to try my first class complimentary when I get an opportunity too. So I definitely want to come to your class first and do it.
Yeah, if you ever want to come by, and maybe one of the guys or somebody can hold the camera and we can get mic'd up, and I'll take you on a tour. You can put it up on your channel.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Oh, that would be great.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd get me away from my desk, so you'd be doing me a favor.
Love it.
Does everybody know I hate sitting behind a desk? Did that come across enough during the episode?
I'm right there with you. I think I'm just the same. Whenever the only time I'm sitting really is like right now doing these video blogs.
Oh yeah, this is fine. But if I'm actually, you put me at a desk and try to put a spreadsheet in front of me, I'm just gonna light the whole desk on fire and run away.
I was thinking
hate
you
it.
might give him a Stevie kick or something. But
No, I don't. I only want to get paid. But I technically am getting paid when I'm there, so maybe I will do that.
One last question for you. When is your
Sure.
next match? Do you have a match booked here soon?
I can't say, but it will be in the near future, and people will know. If people know where I'm from, they'll know where it's at.
Oh, okay.
And when it is. Okay.
I'm
So
guessing
that's
somewhere in the
it.
Northeast then,
There's the hint. There's the hint.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, Stevie, thank you so much again for your busy schedule, coming here and talking to us on GoTarryn TV. And again, I appreciate your time, and it was just a pleasure and honor to speak to you. You're one of my childhood heroes.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. That now I feel old. You didn't have to end it with that.
Well, we're about.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'd love to come back on, and seriously,
Yeah,
dude,
please.
if you want, I'd help you anytime with the technology part
Please.
of the show. But
yeah,
it sounds good, and content is king. And your content, you concentrate on that. You're doing good.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say that. I truly appreciate it.
No problem.
Excellent. Well, Stevie, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And folks, here comes Stevie's information one more time for his contact info.
Yeah, NFL Red Zone today. Subscribe.
All right, folks, there you have it. Stevie Richards, you saw, you can follow him at BWO Stevie. And Stevie, if you're watching by chance, thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming on here on GoTarryn TV on this Sunday and talking to everybody out there about fitness and health and wellness and, of course, DDP Yoga and all the great stuff you're doing here in the greater Atlanta area. And keep it up. And again, folks, by the way, he helped me out big time. He saved me because of Stevie. We were able to get this recording on video and do the interview. And I learned so much techie stuff from him in just a small amount of time. So I can't wait to get him back on here on a future video blog and maybe pick his brain some more about some technology stuff, because I think with his help, you will see a much higher integrity of GoTarryn TV video blogs and interviews right here on GoTarryn TV. So again, folks, please make sure to connect with him and follow him on Twitter and check him out. And if you live in the greater Atlanta area, definitely try one of his classes out at DDP Yoga Performance Center. Or, you know, as you saw, he does personal training as well, so you can do that with him. And I don't know how the guy keeps a schedule like that. I thought I was busy, but that guy seems like he's 10 million times more busy than I am. So after you're done connecting with DDP Yoga and checking out Stevie Richards, please make sure to check out the website at the bottom of your screen right there, www.gotarryn.tv, and bookmark that as a favorite to your web browser today, and tell 2 people about the website as well. Also, a few other things you could do for me. Please make sure to like GoTarryn on Facebook, subscribe to GoTarryn on YouTube, follow GoTarryn on Twitter, and that way you'll also stay connected with Tarryn the Traveling Trainer of GoTarryn Personal Training on GoTarryn TV, who tells each and every one of you out there that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful weekend, and we'll see you on the next video blog, everybody. Bye-bye.